Ladies and gentlemen, here is the rosters for the VCT America's Kickoff for the 2026 season. Starting off with 100 Thieves, where last year was a struggle, with a best finish of 5th through 6th in both stages 1 and 2. The team is looking to bounce back after not competing in any Masters or Champs event since 2023. The roster includes Asuna, Cryocels, former TSM players of Timotino and Vora as the IGL, and returning from Sentinels, Bang. The coaches are former TSM coach NBS and former Fnatic coach Doombros. Xander, Bucio, and coach Zeeks are free agents, while Frenya and Rudy are inactive. Kess has joined Lion, and EU has joined another America's team. Another up and down season for Cloud9 in 2025, but better than 2024. The team had a best finish of 4th in Stage 2, being so close to qualifying the champs after a tiebreaker against MIBR in the standings. The roster includes Zeppa, Oxy, Vic, former Apex player Penny, and former Sentinels player Zelsis as the IGL. The coach is Imi. Net and Mitch are free agents, while coach Googly has joined Shopify Gold. The 2023 champions, Evil Geniuses, had an interesting season in 2025. After peaking in the middle of the season in Stage 1 with a 4th place finish, the team decided to revamp their entire roster, even bring back one player from the 2023 roster. The roster includes Superman, former SAD esports player Bao, former Lev player Com, former Team Solo player DG Zin, and joining Com from Lev, Okeanos. The coaches are Potter, Foe, and former Lev coach Miyako. IC and Ye are free agents. Derek has joined M80, and Nature has joined Shopify Rebellion Black. Furia had one of the worst seasons in VCT history, only winning one single game, which was at Kickoff against 2Game Esports, which wasn't even with their actual roster, but with some NA players from Tier 2. The team is looking to bounce back after a hellish season in 2025. The roster includes core player Alum, former MIBR player Artazine, former 100 Thieves player EU, and former Na'Vi player Koala Noob. And joining Alum from QRR is Nerve as the IGL and Basic as a sub. The coaches are Shaw and Camino. Everyone else are free agents except for Paula, who has joined Cele Gaming. The first LATAM team is Crew Esports. The pink team peaked in Kickoff with a 4th place finish, but struggled throughout the season stages 1 and 2. However, there is a bright future for this team thanks to one player on the roster. Speaking of the roster, it includes Dante 5, former Vitality player Les, former LOS player and returning to the team since 2023 MW0, former KC player Sardak as the IGL, and former T2 game player Silence. The coach is Zoink. Shy, Melser, and coach DDX are free agents. Kesna has joined an America's team, Mazzino has joined a separate America's team, and the other coach of Adam has joined 6 Karma. The second LATAM team is Leviathan. After 2 years with a mixed region roster, and having some success, the team has reverted back to a full LATAM team, with a disappointing finish to the 2025 season with a 5th through 6th in Sage 2. The roster includes King as the IGL, Sato, former Lev Academy players of Blows and Neon, former 2G player Spikeson, and former Team Solo player PXS. The coaches are both from the Lev Academy team, being Onyo and Ji Hein. Com Okeanos and coach Miyako has joined EG, Tex has joined another America's team, and coach Desmo has joined Fnatic. For the 2022 champions, Loud had a nightmare season, but not as bad as Furious season, only getting a best finish of 5th through 6th in Kickoff, and last in both stages 1 and 2. The roster includes Kawanzine, Pancada, Luxo, 30, and former Zolius Laser player Darko. The coach is also from Zolius Laser, being Roman Lee. WBK and coach Matt are free agents, while the other coach leader has joined Pacific Esports. The final Brazilian team is MIBR, the best of the rest. Unlike the other LATAM and Brazilian teams, MIBR actually made it to 2 international events, one in Toronto with 11th through 12th finish, and a 5th through 6th finish in Paris Champs. This team might be a team to look out for with a star-studded roster. The roster includes Aspas, Verno as the IGL, former Crew player Mazzino, former Lev player Tex, and former 7 player Zekim. The coaches are Fraud and former Na'Vi coach Happy. Xenom is a free agent, Artisan has joined Furia, and Cortazir has joined an America's team. The reigning champions, NRG, practically came out of nowhere, with a rocky start for this team finishing 7th through 8th in both Kickoff and Stage 1, but really turned it up in Stage 2 to win champs at Paris. The roster includes Ethan as the IGL, Mada, Brock, Scuba, and former team local player Kaiko. The coaches are Bonka and Strong. Some will be taking a break to do content creation. One of 2 teams in America to go to all 3 Masters and Champs events is Sentinels. This team had an alright season, with a 7th through 8th at Bangkok, a best finish of 5th through 6th at Toronto, and a disappointing 13th through 16th at Champs. But this team might be competitive with their roster. The roster includes John QT, Narrate, former MIBR player Cortazir, and former Qbit Academy duo of Kaio as the IGL and Redux. The coaches are Kaplan and Gunter. Bang has rejoined 100 Thieves along with Zelsis, who has rejoined C9, and Zekin has joined MIBR. The other team to participate in all international events is G2 Esports. The team was in the headline of controversy during the offseason after an interesting choice with their roster. The team had a best finish of 2nd at Bangkok, a 4th in Toronto, and a very disappointing 7th through 8th at Champs. The roster includes Trent, Valorant as the IGL, Leaf, Jogamo, and Baby Bay. The coaches are Josh RT and Shaq. Jonah P is listed as inactive. The final team from Americas is Envy. Returning in after a long hiatus from the scene, the team won against their NA counterparts TSM in the grand final to get a spot to VCT. The roster includes Kanzera, Eggster, Inspire, Poppin as the IGL, former crew player Kesnet, and former Lev player from Stage 1, Rossi. The coaches are Stunner and former Qbit Academy coach Walken. Ionix has joined Shopify Rebellion Black on loan. And ladies and gentlemen, there is your rosters for the 2026 America's Kickoff Tournament.